Welcome to my channel. Tell me honestly, have you ever felt like no one could see you? Even though the women you want are standing right there, no matter what you say, try, or look like, they don't notice you. If that sounds like you, keep reading. What I'm about to say will not only change how women see you, it will also change how you see yourself. Now, here's the truth that most men don't want to hear. Attraction isn't about having a six-figure bank account, looking like a Hollywood star, or remembering cheesy pickup lines. Those things are just distractions. The secret isn't what society has been telling you. It's something much deeper and more meaningful. This video is primal and extremely honest. I'm James, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to show you attraction as it really is, through the lens of manhood and self-mastery. This should wake you up because the game rules are not what you thought they were. People in ancient times knew something that most men today don't. They believed in living with purpose, building resilience, and owning your value, no matter what other people think. This isn't about fake confidence or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming a man who is grounded, focused, and untouchable, a man who attracts women not because he chases them, but because he exudes strength, certainty, and presence. Be aware that this isn't a romantic fantasy. The reality is often harsher. This isn't just another video about getting laid. It's a plan for becoming the man you've always wanted to be. The truth is that your ability to attract women is not influenced by your appearance, the type of car you drive, or even the clever lines you believe will captivate them. It's not about showing off your money or being too confident. That's not accurate. The key lies in your mindset. The truth is, most men make mistakes in this area, causing themselves harm in the process. Crystal. To be clear, when I say confidence, I'm not talking about the loud, fake, in-your-face arrogance that some guys try to pull off. That's just nervousness hiding behind a cheap front. Really, trust. What makes someone magnetic? I bet it's not their looks or how much money they have. The kind of confidence that comes from knowing yourself and being okay with it, regardless of others' opinions. Think about someone you look up to, like a mentor, a friend, or even a historical figure like Marcus Aurelius. What makes them stand out? Their energy, presence, and cool, collected demeanor are what make you trust them without them having to say a word. That's real confidence. It's powerful and rare, but here's the catch. Guys who aren't chasing women or desperately trying to prove their worth are the ones who attract them. This is because they're not playing games or performing for approval, and women can tell right away when someone is desperate. They can smell desperation like sharks can smell blood in the water, and nothing is more off-putting. Here's a reality check. Trying too hard is like holding a neon sign that says, "I don't believe I'm enough." And that's the Stoics didn't care what other people thought of them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, said, "It never ceases to amaze me that we all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Let that sink in. This is what Stoicism is all about. Stopping living for other people's acceptance. When you adopt this way of thinking, real power comes from within. Things change when you stop worrying about what she thinks of you, whether she'll text you back, or whether you're saying the right thing. Instead, you focus on building your power, skills, and purpose to live a life you're proud of. Women don't fall for the guy who needs them to feel complete. They're drawn to the man who is already whole. Now let me ask you this. Are you ready to let go of the lies you've been told about what it takes to be attractive? Are you ready to step into the kind of confidence that doesn't fade, that doesn't rely on external validation, and that can't be shaken by rejection? Because once you do, you won't just change how women see you, you'll change how you see yourself. This isn't about trick or tactics. It's about becoming a man who stands tall in his own skin, the kind of man who doesn't need to chase because his presence alone commands attention. Now, picture this. You walk into a bar and across the room, you see her, the kind of woman who would make most men freeze, stumble over their words, or overcompensate with a fake bravado. But not you. You don't get caught in that trap. Instead, you're calm, collected, and confident. You smile, not because you're trying to impress her, but because you're genuinely enjoying yourself. You're not scanning the room for approval, or you're not contemplating how to attract her attention. You're simply present, content in your own presence. That energy is, it's important to be clear that being magnetic doesn't mean you ignore women or act like you're not interested. That's just as fake as the guy who goes too far with his approach. The key is to find a balance between showing genuine interest and making it clear that your life doesn't revolve around her. It means being open to connections but never needing them to validate your worth. Allow me to share a personal narrative. If you see someone attractive at a party, most guys would be drawn to her like a moth to a flame, trying too hard to crack the truth about attraction and standards by complimenting her every other line. Or, even worse, you refrain from acting like a clown in order to distinguish yourself, as you are not Des. Instead, you enjoy the night, talk to other people, laugh, and just go with the flow. Then when the time is right, you approach her without a script or a nervous smile, but with calm confidence. There's no pressure, no overthinking, no what-ifs. And that easygoing vibe makes it impossible to say no. I used to think too much about everything. I remember that at a friend's wedding, I saw a woman who completely caught my attention. Instead of just being myself and relaxing, I spent half the night practicing what I was going to say. When I finally walked up to her, my nerves let me down, and I stumbled over my words. It was painfully obvious I was trying too hard. She smiled politely, but the connection wasn't there that night. That taught me something important. No matter how clever you think your approaches are, if you're not confident and comfortable with yourself, it shows. Fast forward a few years and I found myself in a similar situation, but this time I wasn't playing games with my mind. When I approached her, I wasn't trying to impress her. I was just enjoying the moment. You know what? It worked. The harsh truth that most men don't want to hear is that women respond not just to your words or actions, but also to your energy. If you exhibit nervousness, insecurity, or overcompensation, it will be evident to them, much like a shark detecting blood in the water. However, when you exude calmness, confidence, and genuine happiness, your energy resonates more powerfully than any words you may utter. It's your spoken presence that women can't help but notice and be drawn to. This isn't just dating advice. Ancient wisdom is at the heart of this living advice. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca taught people how to be self-controlled and at peace with themselves. They believed in living with a purpose instead of for other people's praise. Think about this. Alexander the Great, who was ruler of Rome, once said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events." If you realize this, you'll be able to find strong, irresistible words that bring people together. You are in charge of your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Everything else is just noise. When you have this mindset, it shows in everything you do. You stop worrying about impressing other people because you're too busy living a life you're proud of. You don't chase attention because you already have a purpose and fulfillment in your life. What distinguishes you from other guys who are excessively striving for attention? Let me ask you, what's more attractive? A man who's desperately trying to be someone he's not, or a man who's fully at ease with who he is? The latter doesn't just walk into a room, he owns it without saying a word. He's not acting, he's living. That's the kind of man women are drawn to, not because he's chasing them, but because his presence alone is enough to captivate the world. Doesn't need another guy trying to fake confidence or impress people who don't matter what it needs is more men who are grounded, self-assured, and unopposed. If this resonates with you, let's discuss it further. Now let's be honest for a moment. Stop putting women on a pedestal. I know society has been screaming at you to worship her, treat her like a queen, and prove you're good enough. But let's be real, where does that actually get you? When you elevate someone to the skies, guess where that puts you? At their feet. And let's be clear, no one respects someone who willingly places themselves beneath others. Here's the harsh truth. Most men don't want to face it. When you treat someone like they're untouchable, like some goddess who can do no wrong, Stoicism and dating, what Marcus Aurelius would do, you're not showing respect, you're showing weakness. Respect is mutual. It's not bending over backward to please someone or agreeing with everything they say just to stay on their good side. That's not respect, that's submission. And let me tell you, women don't want to be doormats. Think about it. Why do the so-called bad boys seem to have no issue attracting women? Is it because women love being mistreated? No, that's a lazy excuse men tell themselves to justify their own failures. In reality, these men do not revere women as divine entities, but rather view them as equals. Flawed, human, and capable of both good and bad, just like themselves. That mindset creates a dynamic where women don't feel pressured to be perfect. And more importantly, it keeps the guy from losing himself in the process. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a situation where you tried to be too nice? You showered her with compliments, agreed with everything she said, and went out of your way to prove you were the better man. And what happened? 9 times out of 10, she lost interest in, didn't she? Because here's the thing, women don't want a man who sees them as untouchable queens. They want a man who respects them, but also respects himself. The guys who stand out are the ones who aren't afraid to have their own opinions. Even if it means disagreeing with her, they're not combative or disrespectful, but they're also not afraid to challenge her. Why? Because they see her as an equal, not as some mythical creature that needs to be coddled or constantly impressed. Let me put it this way. If you treat someone like they're out of your league, they'll start to believe in yourself and so on. For you, confidence isn't about being cocky or trying to be someone you're not. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to compromise it for anyone. This ties directly into something the Stoics understood thousands of years ago. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest emperors and philosophers, once said, "Don't value yourself lower than others. If you are equal in virtue, why place them above you?" The lesson here, no matter how beautiful or intimidating they may appear, you are not less than anyone, and the moment you believe that, you will no longer feel inferior. Respect people and be kind, but don't let that make you lose your sense of self-worth. Women don't want a follower. They want a partner who will stand by their side, not below them. Knowing the truth can hurt, but it's what you need to wake up and level up. Stop trying to please others and start respecting yourself. Watch how everything changes. For a moment, let's get to the important stuff. Keep your standards high. Now, I'm not advocating for you to scrutinize every little flaw or demand perfection. That's not my intention at all. However, if you don't know what you're willing to accept, you'll likely settle for anything, which is a guaranteed path to dissatisfaction. High standards aren't just about what you want, they're also about what you demand from life. Having clear values and making sure that the people around you share them is important. Refusing to accept less than what you deserve demonstrates your respect for yourself to everyone, particularly women. That's what attracts real, long-lasting relationships. If someone on your date starts treating you badly or acting as if they don't think you're worth their time, most guys would either ignore the signs or make excuses, but not you. You've built your life around standards that you won't bend on. When you stick to those standards, you show that your time is valuable, and women will respect you more because they know that a man who values himself won't settle for less. And that's a magnetic force that most guys don't get. It's not about clever lines or trying to trick someone with mind games to build unwavering confidence through Stoic knowledge. It's not about tricks or gimmicks. Real attraction is about living your life with purpose, doing what you want to do, and being authentically yourself. When you have your life together and know what you want, you attract the right people. Women are able to discern your true nature, and when you demonstrate self-respect and don't seek approval, this becomes your greatest asset. Now for the harsh truth. If you don't set high standards for yourself, you're already setting yourself up to fail. You'll attract the wrong people, get stuck in unhealthy relationships, and worst of all, you'll lose sight of who you really are. Hold yourself accountable, live your life like you actually matter. Because you do, and when you do that, women won't just be attracted to you, they'll be compelled to be part of your world. At the end of the day, it's not about playing the game, it's about winning the game by being the best version of yourself. You're not here to chase validation. You're here to build something that lasts. You're here to show the world that your time, your energy, and your life are worth more than just being a stepping stone for someone else's happiness. So stop tolerating anything less than what you deserve when you build a life you're proud of and you live it on your own terms. The right. People will come to you naturally, not because you played some game, but because you lived your truth unapologetically. That's real power. So how do you actually put all of this into practice? Let me tell you, it's a process, the magnetic effect of self-respect. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and feel like a brand new person, and that's okay. Change happens step by step, starting with small shifts. Start by writing down the things you love about yourself on a piece of paper. It might feel weird or even awkward at first, but trust me, it works. Maybe you're a great listener, have a great sense of humor, or are really committed to your goals. Whatever it is, write it down. Seeing those traits on paper makes you feel better about your self-worth. It's the first step to really appreciating who you are. Next, challenge yourself to venture beyond your comfort zone. I am not advocating for you to engage in extreme activities. Rather, I suggest that you engage in activities that elicit anxiety, such as initiating a conversation with an unfamiliar individual or enrolling in a cooking or dance class that you have always desired. Every time you face a fear, even in a small way, you prove to yourself that you can do it, and that gives you real confidence. Another big change in the game: try not to try to impress anyone the next time you're out and about. Just be yourself and enjoy the moment. You'll be surprised at how much this changes how you connect with other people. It's attractive when you're easygoing and real. Here's a big one. Develop interests and hobbies that aren't related to dating or relationships. There's nothing more attractive than a person who has their own rich, fulfilling life. Whether it's playing an instrument, traveling, or working on a side hustle, find something that makes you happy. It will not only make you more interesting, but it will also give you a sense of purpose and happiness that doesn't depend on anyone else. If you learnt anything useful from this video, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who might need to hear it. Hit the like button and subscribe for more tips to completely change your love life. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below with the most useful things you learnt from this video. Who knows, your insight could help another guy who is going through the same problems.